Well, Daybreak traffic reporter Alexandra Vitale stepping away from the studio this week to take on other jobs all around the Coastal Empire.
On tap today, craft beer. She worked as a brewmaster at the Southern Barrel Brewing in Bluffton.
So, Walter, I understand this is where all the magic happens in the beer making process.
Absolutely. This is the brewery, all the beer from scratch right here. 2 guys out today. You're here.
Wow, what a coincidence. 2 guys are out right on the day that I show up.
You're going to see brewing, transferring, kegging, a lot of sweat from you and everybody else here.
All right, so we have a lot of work to do.
Let's get going.
Let's roll.
All right.
Before the work of canning, I had to get a crash course on the beer making process, which involves 4 raw ingredients: water, yeast, hops, and malts.
I just wanted to show you a cross-section of malt that we use. And malt is going to be barley, rye, or wheat, any type of cereal grain. And what you'll notice is that the barley is going to come from a farm and is going to be malted at a malting facility. And what they're doing is, if you notice all the little white specks that we have here, it's all natural starch. And that was created during the malting process. Comes to a brewer, we expose the starch by cracking the grain. And with the introduction of water, the enzymes in the grain convert starch to sugar.
Walter gave me a step-by-step tour of the brewing process.
The grain falls in and the mixer is mixing water, and this is where we create a mash.
The brew side of this operation is impressive and hot. The stainless steel kettles generate a lot of heat.
90 minutes of boiling is over.
Okay.
What we do is we spin the beer around, we get all the hop particles to settle out. Then it's time to send the beer out, and it's really hot, but it can't be exposed to yeast. Yeast can't tolerate temperatures over 90 degrees. Okay. So it's 200 from boiling.
Right.
So we go through something called a heat exchanger. That's going to drop the temperature from 200 down to about 68 degrees. And from there, it runs through all these red hoses you see and introduced into one of the fermenters.
Beer making is not a fast process. It takes days and even weeks before it's ready to drink. I learned fermentation takes time and cold temperatures.
Now the yeast cell is then going to take in the sugar we created, and when it takes in sugar, it gives off 2 byproducts, one being alcohol and one being CO2.
We left the brewery side to take a break in the freezer. Woo! Feels good in here.
All right, so this is where beer is kegged and served here in the tavern, of course, but it's also where we have an opportunity to keep our beer cold until it gets delivered to a distributor or retailer.
I also got a quick lesson on hops, which Southern Brewery stores in the freezer.
The hop cone is a female flower off a perennial vine. Put a couple in your hand and rub them together really good, then give a nice sniff. These,
oh my gosh,
yeah,
that smells good.
Very, very tropical.
Yeah.
These are Citra hops, and they're some of the newest, coolest hops out in the last 5-6 years.
Wow.
They put on some tropical notes to a beer, but they do process them down to pellets because they break up into a slurry, and they're very easy to use in the machines.
Yeah. My next task, the assembly line, catching cans. I'm keeping up.
You're doing good. I'm impressed.
The automated canning process was very cool to see in action. Empty aluminum cans ended up full of local brewed craft beer. And those full cans don't stack themselves. We loaded them up on the pallets and used a jack to get them back into the cold.
Pump it up. Pump it up. Come on. Pump it up. Okay, now we're going to pull. Ready? All right, let's get it back in the cooler. There you go.
All right.
That's all right. Not too bad.
Not too bad. Thanks.
Now
I'm one of the crew?
Yeah, you are.
Are you going to hire me now?
I don't see why not. You did a great job today.
Thanks. All right, now we get to do the best part.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers. Of course, the Southern Barrel Brewing Company is just one of the many locally owned brew houses in South Carolina and Georgia. Local people making local products. In Bluffton, Alexandra Vitale, WTOC News.
If you missed any of Alexandra's stories this week, just head over to our website, WTOC.com.
The Savannah Chatham Public